Welcome to the channel and welcome to the war-ravaged Jericho Reach, specifically the world of Vanity. We are here looking, following a story that sees the Abbess Sanctorum of the Adepta Sororitas crash landed on the planet, shot down by the foul Tau war party. And she is trying to escape from their clutches on the ground, dragging the damaged Purgator Mirabilis to this sanctuary, where she is due to rendezvous with some of her loyal sisters from the mission of the Halcyon Blade. So the mission that we're going to play today, Morven Val is going to start on this side of the table, this side of this canyon, and she's got to make her way all the way through here until she can finally make it in contact with that sanctuary building. The crash has taken its toll on the Purgator Mirabilis, however. Her movement is reduced, the missile launcher is non-functioning, and there is the potential for her to black out as the mission goes on. And the more time she blacks out, the more difficult the mission will get for her, although she can recover. We're going up against some Tau today, and I have with me Release from the DZTV forum. Welcome.
Hello.
You're taking charge of the Tau today, and you're trying to capture Val before she gets to the safety of this sanctuary. So let's take you through the mission rules. As we said, Morven Val will start on one side of the table. Her movement from the data sheet and the codex is reduced by D3 inches at the start of the game. When she has lost D6 wounds from her data sheet. Once she is reduced to 0 wounds, she doesn't count as dead, she counts as blacked out and misses a turn. On the following turn, she will then recover from being blacked out on a 2-up. And she will regain D6 of those wounds. If she is then reduced again to 0, she will recover from being blacked out on a 3-up and get D3 wounds, and then on a 4-up and with a single wound remaining. Hopefully we won't get that far. She'll have either made it here or sort of been captured by that point. The Tau, for their part, need to get into base contact with her. They can either do that by a standard charge and reduce her to 0 wounds in combat, or if she is blacked out, then they can just move into base-to-base contact with her and they will count as having captured her at that point. I think that's everything that we need to play this mission, so hopefully anything else that's not clear we'll explain as we go along. And we'll see whether or not she can escape the clutches of the foul Xenos race. So here we have the Sororitas force in all her glory, and we have Morven Val. What we lack in numbers, we'll definitely make up for with rules. So she is the Abbess Sanctorum and the Supreme Commander of the Adepta Sororitas. So she's a pretty special lady. She has Weapon Skill and Ballistic Skill 2. She's got a 2-up save. She has a 4-up Ignore Mortal Wounds and a 4-up Invuln save. She halves any incoming damage. Once per game she can fight twice in the fight phase. She can also give full rerolls to a unit within the command phase, and she also applies rerolls of 1 to hit and to wound to any core units within 6 inches. And her Warlord trait allows her to reroll hits and wounds in the fight phase. She does explode if she dies, but given that she's the only model in the army, if she dies, that's probably more of an issue for me than just the explosion. So in this custom mission, Morven Val has crash landed on the planet of Vanity, and she's being pursued by a Tau force from the Borkan Sept. She's trying to make it to this sanctuary, where she is due to rendezvous with some of the sisters of the mission of the Halcyon Blade from the Order of the Golden Thorn. So her damaged warsuit is trying to get her to this location. She'll be suffering somewhat, and as a result of the damage from the crash, the missile launcher on her suit is non-functional at present. She will be able to use the heavy bolter and the spear in combat, but she cannot shoot the missile systems for this mission only. So with that, we will move on and have a look at the Tau force. Right, so what are we looking at here? What have we got?
So this is a small Tau army, the Borkan tenant. So that gives them +4 inches to their ranged weapons, and also any vehicles or battle suits. Range attacks with a strength less than 7 is -1 to the strength of the weapon. Obviously that doesn't count here because I haven't got any battle suits or vehicles, but later on.
Cool. Okay, so later on in the campaign that's going to start taking into effect, but we don't need to worry too much about remembering that one for today. Cool.
Okay, so the Warlord is at the front here.
Yep.
So Cadre Fireblade. He's got a Warlord trait of the Borkan, which is the Seeker of Perfection. Okay. So range attacks, AP is improved by 1, and unmodified wounds of 6 do a mortal wound in addition.
So is that just on him, or is that an aura?
That's just him.
Okay, cool.
Trait, and that's max 3 mortal wounds in effect.
Right.
He does have some abilities. So he's any core units within 6 inches. Pulse weapon hits of 6 do an extra hit.
Right.
And any fire warriors within 9 inches, they reroll 1s to hit.
Nice. Okay. So nice and reliable firepower from anything near him then. Okay.
He's got a signature system.
Okay.
Which is like a relic. And that's Altus Lantern. So when he fires marker lights, I roll 5 extra dice.
Wow.
And on 3s, they put a marker light down. So rather than just the 1, he will be doing 6.
Cool.
Next to him,
yep.
We have the Ethereal on a hover drone. So any core units within 6 inches can use the leadership, which is 10. And then 1 core unit I choose can make range attacks whilst doing an action.
Cool.
Okay. She's got 2 invocations that she knows. So I roll in the command phase, I roll a 3 and I become inspiring that. So we've got Sense of Stone, which means 1 core unit within 6 inches gets a 5+ shrug.
Okay. Nice.
Wisdom of the Guides, and if that rolls 3+, I gain 1 CP.
Excellent.
So it's a CP generator. Okay. So there's 2 shield drones with her. Yep. With the Cadre Fireblade. What have I got there? I've got a gun drone and a marker.
Yeah.
Marker drone.
Okay.
And then we've got a strike team, all with pulse rifles. So they get the extra 4-inch range. So they've got a 40-inch range on the pulse rifle.
Classic.
Quite nice. Yeah. There's a marker light on the Shazu.
Yeah.
And they've got a DS8 support turret with the SMS missiles on it. So that's the Tau.
Lots of guns coming in and chasing Morven Val as she tries to make it to the sanctuary. Cool. Right. Okay, let's go to the game then. Trailing smoke and leaking fluids and lubricants, the Purgator Mirabilis drags itself through the canyon amongst the smoke. Its target, the sanctuary, is on the other side of the hills. Behind it, a squad of Tau Fire Warriors and their Cadre Fireblade, about to open fire. Okay, so turn 1, we're at the end of the movement phase. Well, the Sororitas turn 1 is done. Morven Val has moved into the canyon here to try and limit line of sight, whilst the Tau Fire Warriors are moving in from the open wasteland beyond, and they're about to draw a bead on the Purgator Mirabilis. So, Are we ready to do some shooting?
Yes, we are.
Cool. We've got any stratagems or anything that we want to do before
We
that?
have.
Okay.
So in the command phase I need to do things like marker lights.
Yep.
Without moving, I'm going to bring on my support turret.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's going to be a couple of strats played as well to
Cool.
make the fire wars a little bit more potent.
Okay, let's go. So, into the tower shooting phase. The Ethereal and her drones have moved up around this side of the outcrop, whilst the fire team has stayed still and deployed its missile bin. We're about to open fire on Val, and the tower have decided to enact a relentless fusillade, which allows them to rapid fire at full range if they stay still, and also gives them an extra pip of AP. And we've also played Pulse Onslaught, which means that any unmodified hit rolls of 6 automatically wound the target. So a little bit nervous about this because Val is down to 6 wounds already, having taken a couple from the crash before the mission started. I should also say she's down to a movement of 6 due to the damage taken by her warsuit. That could have been a lot worse. She could have been sitting there on 2 wounds at this point with only a 5-inch move. So let's see how the tower get on. We have got 5 marker light hits on her, thanks to the Cadre Fireblade and his Warlord trait and his extra bright torch. So let's see how the tower shooting gets on. We are, what, 3s to hit?
So we will be, normally 4s, but take 3s because we would take.
Yep, we're using the marker light to give them +1 to hit.
So this is the fire warrior, the strike team.
So the strike team there.
So we've got, normally with the pulse rifles, so with the rapid fire from Relentless Fusillade, we've got 20 shots hitting on 3s. Remembering here that 6s automatically wound, and they also do an extra hit because they're by the Cadre. So, and I re-roll 1s because of him as well. So
we've got
that was a 1.
1 automatic wound.
Those are 2s, 1 automatic wound. So that does an extra hit from the 6 as well.
And we've got another 2 in there.
And there's a 2 there. So those are all hits. These 2 re-roll. We have an extra 1.
Cool. And then Val is toughness 5. So we are 4s to win.
That's strength 5.
Yeah, so 4s to win.
4s.
Not too shabby.
There we go.
3's out, which is what, 9, 10 wins?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
10 saves, AP of -1 on the pulse rifles, plus another -1 for the stratagem, less 1 for armour of contempt, means 3 ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds off. And this is not going well. Northern Val is down to a single wound already. Smart missile systems from the missile bin.
That's a pulse weapon, it's not a pulse weapon.
So,
2 hits.
2 hits.
I re-roll 1s because of the Cadre
Fireblade.
So that's 4 hits.
4 hits.
Again, strength 5, so 4s.
Yep, 4 to win.
2 wounds, standard AP -1. It's a core. It's not a. Is it a core model? Well, the whole unit's core, so yes.
The whole unit's
will be.
core, so yeah.
So
again,
that's -2, so you go back down to -1.
Back down to 3 ups. And she loses her last wound. Northern Val blacks out almost immediately. So after a brutal round of shooting, the Purgator Mirabilis is stuck, and inside it, Morvenval slowly comes to her senses, and as she does so, she sees the Tau Ethereal standing over her and senses the Fire Warriors closing in. So, Sororitas turn 3, Morvenval has woken up from her blackout. How many wounds does she have? She starts with D6. She regains 5 wounds. That's a good sign. So we'll stand her up. And we go on to her turn. In the command phase, she's going to have a stern word with herself and tell herself to hit everything better. And she's going to fire Fidelis and her heavy bolter at the Ethereal, who's standing right in front of her. Morvenval has a ballistic skill of 2 up. Mirabilis shoots 3 times and hits twice. It is, however, strength 6. But there's 2 drones in that unit, so I think majority toughness will be 4.
Toughness 3. And drones are toughness 4.
Yeah. In which case she will be winning them on 3s. And what I forgot, she gets a reroll to hit because she had that stern word with herself and still fails to hit. So 1 wound, and Fidelis is minus 1.
Drone's got 4 up in front of them.
4 up in save. That's a 3. It's 2 damage, so it is gone. As we explained at the start, the missile launcher is not functioning for this game. So that's the end of the shooting phase. And in the charge phase, she is going to charge into the Ethereal and try and clear a path in front of her. So it's a double 1, but that's enough to get in. Did the Ethereal want to overwatch?
No.
No. Right, okay, so on to the combat phase and the fight phase. So having recovered from her blackout and having opened fire with Fidelis, Morvenval can do little more than lunge with the Lance of Illumination. However, she does have 5 attacks, and she hits on 2s, and because of her warlord trait, she will re-roll hits and wounds in the melee. So, hitting on 2s with lunging strike and re-rolling that 1. So everything hits. And then wounding, she is strength 8. The majority toughness in the unit is 4. So she will still wound on 2s. And she re-rolls 1s. So 4 wounds. I should say 6s would have done mortal wounds in addition. However, I didn't roll any. So 4 saves to take for the Ethereal.
So 4 up on the drone.
So yep, the drone takes the hits first. That's a fail. 3 damage. That's a dead drone. And we have 3 saves left to take on the Ethereal.
Oh no, 5 up save.
5 ups. Passes 2, fails 1. That is 3 damage.
So she's still left with 1 wound.
She is still left with a wound. So at this point, I think Morvenval is going to have to use her Righteous Repugnance ability. So once per battle at the end of the fight phase, if this model is within engagement range of any enemy units, it can fight again. However, the Ethereal will get to fight first. So let's have a look at that now. The Ethereal's got a weapon skill of 3 up, but it's got a very, very heavy stick. So she's -1 to hit. So hitting on 4s. Everything hits.
Strength 3 plus 2, 5.
So 4s to wound. Nothing.
Good.
Okay.
I'm not going to bother rerolling.
No. So having initially lunged at the Ethereal and managed to severely wound her, We're then going with a backhand sweep, and the sweeping blow doubles Morgan Val's attacks, but reduces the damage to 1. However, the ethereal's only got 1 wound left, so I only need 1 of these to get through. So hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, everything hits. And then we are wounding on 3s this time, but rerolling everything because of her warlord trait. So that is 8 saves to take, and that is -2. I should say that with the sweeping blow, it doesn't do mortal wounds in addition on 6s. The ethereal goes, smashed back into the rocks, falls down in a motionless heap. We'll see what happens next turn when the fire warriors round the outcrop and see the motionless form of their leader. So with the ethereal dead, there are no invocations happening, no way for the town to get additional command points. However, the Cadre Fireblade did manage to put 4 marker lights on Morven Val with his extra bright torch, and we are now going to see if we can weather the storm of the fire warriors a second time, preferably without blacking out this time, because she is not particularly healthy at the moment. So 20 shots, is it?
20 shots.
20 shots. We've played the same stratagems again, so number of shots, extra AP, and 6s to hit automatically wound. So these will be hitting on 3s. With the marker lines. Rerolling 1 to the Cadre Fireblade.
And the 6s do an extra hit as well as automatically wounded.
Cool.
That's a bit better.
So 5 additional hits.
5 additional reroll 1s.
Reroll 1s.
Ah.
And you've got a miss there as well, so that's 3.
So these are all. So I need to do 2 extras.
Yeah, so 4s to win with these, and then 2 extras. I'll effectively rerolled if 2 fail.
So that's 5 wounds already. So they automatically wound. These I need to do 3 extra after this.
Wounding on 4s. So then re-rolling 3 of those for your extra ones. Wow. 5 of them, 14.
And these are at AP -1 there.
-2, which becomes -1 because of armor of contempt. So 14 saves to take on 3s. And she fails 2. Much better, Miss Val. Thank you.
Yes,
so, missile bin.
Heavy 4.
The bucket of death.
Hitting on 3s.
Yep. So 3 hits.
3 hits, rerolling
Rerolling the 1s for the Cadre Fireblade.
Make that 4 hits. Again, these are 5, so these are 4s. Oh, that's not very good.
Just the 1. Command point.
Do I command point? No, I'll leave it.
Leave it. So 3 up save. She's fine.
Okay. Okay. Right, so we'll have some.
Where do we go from here?
Gun.
And we've done the fire from the Cadre Fireblade and the drones, and no further damage was caused. So on we go to Morven Val's turn 3, 4, something like that. We're not having a turn limit on this game, so it doesn't really matter. And she will struggle onwards. Taking advantage of the smoke, Val moves on, but as she does so, she fires behind her with Fidelis at these gun drones. 3 shots hitting on 2s. Everything hits. And we are majority toughness 3 in that unit now.
It will be with the fireball.
So telling herself to reroll 1s to wound. 3 wounds, all at -1 AP.
They're 4 up in front of them. We've got a Guardian drone and we've got a shield drone. And so the Guardian drone doesn't do anything here. Yeah, wound roll of 1 or 2 for that attack automatically.
Yeah.
But you didn't roll. So we've got
So we've got 4 up in front.
4 up in front. This will be on the shield drone.
Yep. And it is 2 damage, so the shield drone
Goes.
explodes.
So that's 1. So the next one is
Sadly, it's only little,
Guardian
so it
drone.
doesn't kill anyone as it explodes.
It doesn't explode, I don't think.
No.
No, they don't.
I can dream.
Explode. 4 up again. Oh god, our drones aren't doing very well.
No.
I think they need to be
They are
reprogrammed.
They are heresy against the machine god and the
so
emperor
the last
himself.
one's on a
and
fire warrior, which have a 4 up save. You -1.
-1, yep. So 5 up save.
5s. No, there's 1.
There's 1 fire warrior as well. Right. There we go. Squeaky bum over the first couple of turns, but she seems to be making a difference now. Right, so no charges, so we will go on to the Tau turn. So onto the Tau turn, and overcoming their trepidation, the fire warriors have moved up to get into rapid fire range of Morvenval, specifically because having declared carry on at the start of the game, and they will now be getting additional hits on 6s to hit once they start playing their nasty stratagems. So we have fire warriors opening fire on Ms. Val once more.
Stratagems on down to the low CP left.
Spending all the stratagems on the same 2 CP, Relentless Fusillade and Pulse Onslaught.
So this time we've got 18 shots.
Yes, because I killed one.
Oh, I haven't done my marker lights.
I'm happy to accept that you've got at least 2 hits.
Yeah. Okay.
Given that you're doing about 8.
So these are hitting on 3s.
So yeah, hitting on 3s.
Rerolling 1s, thankfully.
That's a good job. Yeah.
These 3 do 2 extra.
2 extras each.
So
Reroll 1s. See what you've got.
That's better.
Ouch.
Hitting on 3s.
That's many.
So those. Miss. So that's 15 hits plus 2, 4, 6, 8 plus another 10. So that's 25.
Cool. Okay. We'll come back in a second for the 20 rolls to wound, winning on 4s. And that looks like
Not enough.
slightly below average.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit below.
2, 4, 6, 8.
8
Plus the 5
plus
that
the
also
5
wounds
that's
30.
already wounded is 13. There we go.
So 80 minus 2, so down to
So
minus
these will be -1 thanks to Armor of Contempt. So again, 3 up saves. And we fail just the 2 again, which puts her down to a single wound remaining.
So onto the Catre.
So Cadre Flight Blade, who was singularly useless last time, so he's probably going to kill her now.
Yeah, so this is 2 at rapid fire. So these
Oh,
in the don't reroll.
and he's not core, so he doesn't
No,
reroll.
it doesn't reroll his own. So it's down to the drone.
Come on, drone,
Come on, drone.
you can do this.
Just the 1 needed. So the gun drone. So these are hitting on 4 this time.
Yep.
Just
one
the
hit.
1.
Wounding on 4s.
Yes.
It is a wound, but this is AP dash.
It is,
So it is
yeah.
2 up save, which he passes. So So she limps on with a single wound remaining. Once again, showing her tactical acumen, Val has used this smouldering piece of wreckage of her Aquila Lander to her benefit, obscuring herself from the pursuing fire warriors by the smoke. It does, however, mean that Fidelis will not speak this turn, and we move on to the fire warriors, turn 4. No marker lights this turn for the Tau because the smoke was obscuring Val at the time that they would have been rolled. We have 4 of the fire warriors can draw line of sight around the smoke, and the Cadre fire brigade behind can also see. So, because they've got a quite frankly hideous range of 40, they're well within rapid fire range at this point. So we have 8 shots coming in from the fire warriors.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to... Sixes. I'm actually going to play the Relentless Fusillade. I need to get the...
Because that keeps the AP, that keeps her save down at 3 ups instead of 2 ups. Yeah.
Yeah. So 6s do additional hits because of the...
Because of the Cadre fire blade, yeah. But you're only hitting on 4s this time because there's no marker lights. So 4 hits plus the extra 2 for that becomes 6.
So these are wounding.
4s to wound.
These were 6s all right. That's a bit better. So it's 4.
4 wounds.
Yeah.
4 3-up saves. Here we come. Oh, 1 failed. So I am going to use the CP that I haven't used so far. Nope, she still goes down. Loses her final wound this time. So she will miss her next turn. And then she will stand up on a 3-up at the start of her turn 5. And with the evident remains of the ethereal amply on show, the Tau have been cautious at this point, and have stayed away in case Val wakes up. She'll recover from being blacked out on a 3-up. That's a 5. And she will regain D3 wounds this time for 2. So we'll stand her back up on 2 wounds. And now, a decision to make. Does she make a break for the sanctuary and hope that the Mirabilis will keep her alive? Or does she come around this side of the rocky outcrop, keeping the smoke between her and the guns of the town for longer? That's going to be a tricky decision. So I've had a bit of a think, and she's making a break for it. Mainly because if we had come around this way, we could certainly reduce the number of shots that the tower would be able to put down on her. But by doing so, she also cuts out her own return fire and makes the trip considerably longer. Whereas coming this way, Fidelis can speak in reply and hopefully take at least 3 of them down. Well, take 3 of them down to reduce the incoming fire. We have got 2 additional turns. It's going to take her 2 turns of movement to reach the sanctuary. Question is, can she survive 2 turns of fire? She will be able to stand up again if she blacks out again, but only on a 4-up this time. Blacking out must have put her aim off. Fidelis only took out 1 of the fire warriors, and in return they are still within rapid fire range. So back into Talv, turn 5 shooting phase. We've got 2 marker lights on Morven Val. We're now in carry on turn 3, so 4s to hit are doing additional hits, and we have the same 2 stratagems on as we've been seeing throughout the battle. So 6s will do another additional hit, and they're an extra AP. So the Mirabilis only grants a 3-up save now. So 16 shots, I believe.
16. Yeah.
Oath was taking 2 extras down.
So 4s do 1 extra, 6s do 2 extra.
Yep.
3s to hit.
3s to hit. Yeah.
Rerolling 1s.
I see a few ones. I see a lot of 4 or mores.
Right, so these do 2 extras. That misses.
Yeah.
And these do 1 extra.
This is going to hurt. We'll come back when we've done the maths. And thanks to Carry-On, we've got 16 saves to take. They're actually doing more hits now, there's less of them. Right, okay, 3-ups. And she has taken many, many wounds. There's no point trying to CP reroll any of those to keep her alive. So she blacks out for the 3rd time in the game. However, the tower now a long way away. And provided she can keep on waking up, the question is, can they now reach her? We'll see. And while she's blacked out, the tower drones have split from the ethereal and advanced forwards. This is getting serious now. If she wakes up from this blackout, she's only going to have a single wound left. And she will only wake up from this blackout on a 4-up. Here we go. That's a 5. She's up again. She's up again, but with a single wound remaining. Now, again, the question is, what does she do? Do we stay, or do we go back and kill the drones? Or do we keep coming towards the sanctuary? I think there's only one answer to that, and that is to keep moving towards the sanctuary of the building here. I think to stay where she is or to turn around and go back the other way is only going to result in her being shot down for the final time. I think we have to move this way. So again, using the terrain as a shield from the incoming fire, Val stumbles towards the sanctuary. Fidelis once again speaks as she does so, this time against the drones pursuing her. She will hit on 2s. She rerolls 1s. She will win on 3s. Just quick check. Yes, she does reroll 1. She does reroll to wound as well. So 3 wounds on the drones at -1 AP.
So these are 4-up saves.
Okay. How are we doing?
No, they both go.
They're both gone.
They both got, yeah, 1...
Command point?
What have I got? A shield and a marker. I haven't got any command points left.
Oh,
I used
spent them all. Yeah.
Yeah, marker and a gun drone are both 1.
Yes, it's 2 damage anyways.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so they're gone.
They are both gone. We'll join you back in the tower phase when we see what response they have. And once again, having started the turn out of line of sight, there are no marker lights for the tower. The fire warriors have moved up, however, and they are within half range for rapid fire on their pulse rifles. We are still also in carry-on with 4-ups doing additional hits. However, slightly more short on command points now. Only one of these stratagems can be played. Which one are you going to go for?
Gonna go for the AP -1.
Yeah. AP -1, which makes them AP -2 in total, which with Armour of Contempt comes back down to -1, giving Val a 3-up save.
Okay, so these are forced to hit this time, no mark
Yep.
lights. Any hits will do an extra hit.
Yep.
Any 6s will do an extra 2,
Yes.
because they're by the
Yep.
cavalry fireblade.
I'm definitely not keeping my fingers crossed for 1s and 2s. And 3s.
And reroll ones.
Oh,
'cause it's
that's
cavalry.
not good. Well, not for me, it's not.
Okay, that was a.
Yeah, and that was 1, yeah.
Was that a 1?
Yeah.
Okay. So that one doesn't hit.
And there's 3 other 3s in this.
3.
But you get many additional hits.
So that's 4. So those 2 extra, and then I roll that lot twice.
Yeah.
4. That's 1.
That's 1.
And these twice.
Yeah.
That's not so good.
5.
4. Yeah, that's fine. 6, 7, 8. That's 2, 4 from that lot.
Okay. So
These are AP -2.
So these are 3-ups, and I do have a CP in my pocket if I only fail one of these. And she fails 2. Even with a CP reroll, she loses her last wound within sight of the sanctuary. And with that, Val falls and the Tau come to drag the immobile shape of the Purgator Mirabilis back to their forward operating base. We'll go on to the next mission and see what the sisters can do in response.